Hey everybody, Joshua Gillespie here for this 31-day Disney challenge. I'm sorry I missed it yesterday, but I was feeling sick and just had a lot of stress, and I didn't want that to affect the video. So today I'm doing two of these, answering the first two questions. And the first one is, what is your favorite Disney movie? I thought this was going to be a tough question, but actually it was pretty easy. My favorite Disney movie is Wreck-It Ralph. All blurry, but whatever. Wreck-It Ralph. Now, most of you are probably thinking, well, that's a simple answer because he likes video games. Well, it's more than that. But one of the reasons I like the movie is because it is about video games. I've been playing video games since I was about 4 years old. I didn't grow up in the time where they were making the video game movies like Super Mario Brothers, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat. Though I did see them, and I kind of liked the Super Mario Brothers movie. Whatever. So, as I've grown up, I've just had that, oh, video game movies are bad. They're all bad. So when I heard that Disney was going to make a video game movie, I was like, oh no. Oh no. And I remember what the original plot was. It was like, from what I remember, or maybe I heard it wrong, whatever, it was like a 8-bit video game villain wants to be the villain of the entire arcade, so he goes around to each game and tries to be the villain. I thought that sounded like the worst thing ever. Like, if they had gone with that, I would have hated the movie. But no, they went with the unique storyline of it, which is another thing I like. A video game villain that is tired of just being disrespected and just having to live in garbage for the past 30 years. And so he's like, okay, I can prove to you that I can be a hero. And of course, nobody thinks he can, so he leaves his game to go find one that he can be good at, be the hero of. Speaking of which, let's talk about the characters. So we have Wreck-It Ralph, we have Fix-It Felix, Vanellope von Schweetz, and I forget what's the woman's name? Jane Lynch performs her, whatever. But all of these characters are just so likable in their own way, including Vanellope. Now, let me just talk about her. She's played by Sarah Silverman. I didn't like Sarah Silverman, and I said didn't. For the longest time, I thought she was just annoying and irritating, all that, until I saw Wreck-It Ralph and I realized, this is just Sarah Silverman. It's this annoying little kid, and I loved it. It was a great performance, great character. So this movie made me like Sarah Silverman, so good job. If you can't tell, these are all completely improvised. What else do I like about this movie? I like all the subtle video game references outside of things like just the video game characters all around like the train station, whatever it is. Even though that is really cool, and I was trying to get as close. I was one of those people in the movie theater being like, "Oh, who's that? Who's that? Ooh, 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 ooh." And I was all by myself, so I probably looked really weird. Oh well, but just the little references like the graffiti in the train station that says like Aerith lives or all your Baystar belong to us. Even when he's in the lost and found room of the bar and he picks up the thing and it turns into the Metal Gear Solid exclamation. That, I was the only person in the theater laughing at that. But I don't care. Even they do the Konami code at some point, and I know everybody knows that or should know that, but it was nice that they included things that the parents or the older audience would get that the little kids might not. Of course, they did have a few little kid jokes like naming the game Hero's Duty, so, better watch where you step in a game called Hero's Duty. What else? I like the look of the movie. I like how they've made these three unique worlds and how the old games look like old games. They have that old retro look to them, and the modern games all are Like the first person shooter's all dark and gritty and ooh, and then the kart racing, the Sugar Rush is all bright and colorful. And I said this to someone? I was like, Hero's Duty is the Xbox 360 and Sugar Rush is the Nintendo or whatever. But you know, what do I not like about this movie? Actually, there is one part of this movie I don't like. It's the song they play. Let me just say that I love the music in this movie. I listen to it all the time. But the scene I don't like is when Vanellope is learning to drive and they're playing this song. I don't remember who performed it. It was one of these newer people. I don't listen to modern music, but it just, and this is the best way I think I can compare it. When you hear Eye of the Tiger in Rocky 3, you know that song was written for that movie. Because the way the song goes, you can look at the events of the movie and be like, okay, this all makes sense. With the song they play here, it could have been any other song with the word car. They could have played Drive My Car by the Beatles. Actually, I would have probably liked that more. But, you know, it just felt unnecessary. They could have played just another instrumental little track, but I guess, I don't know, maybe just for a promotion thing, so the artist would be like, hey, you can find my song in Wreck-It Ralph and get more people to go see it. But I just love this movie. I love the message that it has. And as for like a sequel, I'd like to see one. I think it'd be neat. I don't know if they should make... I've heard people be like, it should be centered more around the real video game characters, but then you get into the conflict of, are these companies going to let them mess around with their characters that much? I mean, like, Capcom having the Street Fighter, and them like, hey, you want to go meet up you want to head on to the bar, Ken? Okay, if you're buying, whatever. You know, that's fine, but, you know, I heard one person say they want to see Luigi as the villain, and I was like, Nintendo will never let that happen. But, yeah, Wreck-It Ralph is just my favorite Disney movie. I watch it all the time, and every time I do, I get a good feeling. As a gamer, when I was sitting in that theater, I was just like, I feel like this is just a big thank you for all the time and money I've put into this hobby, into this passion I have. So, for all those reasons, Wreck-It Ralph is, and I think for a long time, will be my favorite Disney movie. Stay tuned for Disney Challenge, 31-day Disney Challenge, Day 2, which is happening today. Huzzah!